we are diving straight into the biggest moves, shaking up the NBA landscape. The Dallas Mavericks have made a massive shakeup, officially hiring former Raptors executive Masai Ujiri to step into the role of president and alternate governor. This is huge news because Ujiri comes with an incredible pedigree, having helped architect a championship run for the Toronto Raptors in 2019, including that pivotal trade for Kawhi Leonard. We break down everything you need to know about this monumental executive change and what it means for the future of the Mavericks.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we look at the ripple effect of this big hire. Will this move by the Dallas Mavericks change the search for leadership elsewhere in the league? We explore the intense competition, specifically looking at the Chicago Bulls, who are currently the only NBA franchise actively hunting for new front office leadership. We investigate the rumors connecting Masai Ujiri to figures like Dennis Lindsey and Matt Lloyd, and whether the Mavericks' decision has put pressure on the Bulls' search for their next head of basketball operations. But this move isn't just about Dallas. It represents a massive power shift in the league. We examine why Masai Ujiri's hiring signals a significant departure from the Mark Cuban era of ownership. We look at the history of Cuban's hiring decisions and compare that to Ujiri's profile, exploring why this executive was the perfect fit where Cuban might have hesitated, and what this means for the organizational culture moving forward. And finally, we wrap up with the full picture of this massive executive shift. We review the context behind the Mavericks firing Nico Harrison and how Masai Ujiri's arrival sets the stage for the team's future, especially as they look to build around Rookie of the Year Cooper Flag. Don't miss a single detail of this major shift. Subscribe now for the biggest stories and best analysis on the business of sports delivered to your inbox twice every weekday and twice on weekends. The Dallas Mavericks have made a significant executive move, hiring former Raptors executive Masai Ujiri to take over as the team's next president and alternate governor, replacing Nico Harrison. Harrison's tenure ended after an infamous trade of Luka Doncic to the Lakers the previous year. The Mavericks officially announced the hiring on Monday. In a statement, Ujiri expressed his enthusiasm, stating, "I'm honored to join the Dallas Mavericks and step into this role at such an important time for the organization. This is a franchise with a proud history, passionate fans, and a commitment to winning. I look forward to working with our players, coaches, and leadership team to build something that reflects that standard and competes at the highest level. We will win in Dallas." Ujiri brings substantial experience, having served as the Raptors' general manager when the team secured the 2019 NBA title. Patrick Dumont, the Mavericks owner, hailed the addition as critical for meeting organizational goals, emphasizing Ujiri's leadership and determination. This executive shift follows a period of transition for the Mavericks' front office, which was co-operated by Michael Finley and Matt Riccardi after Harrison's departure. The future of these executives remains to be determined following meetings with Ujiri. The move comes amid a rebuilding phase for the Mavericks roster, which is currently centered around Rookie of the Year Cooper Flag. This follows the disappointment of Harrison's vision after the Doncic trade did not yield the expected results due to injuries to Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. Meanwhile, the landscape of the Mavericks' ownership has shifted, with owner Mark Cuban selling a majority stake to the Adelson family in December 2023 for $3.5 billion. While Cuban was reportedly interested in hiring Pistons executive Dennis Lindsey, he was not directly involved in the search for Ujiri, according to ESPN. Masai Ujiri has a diverse background, including stints as the general manager for the Nuggets and his recent involvement as a part owner in the WNBA's Tempo. Beyond basketball, Ujiri is known for his philanthropic work through the Giants of Africa, a nonprofit running basketball camps across 12 African nations. The search for new front office leadership at the Chicago Bulls has intensified following the Dallas Mavericks' decision to hire Masai Ujiri. The Mavericks have officially secured Ujiri as their new head of basketball operations, a move that shifts the landscape for the Bulls, who are now the sole NBA franchise actively seeking new leadership. Ujiri, known for leading the Toronto Raptors to their first-ever NBA title, was considered a strong candidate for Chicago, but did not emerge as a serious option for the Bulls, which has largely favored up-and-coming executives. However, the Mavericks' move has brought other names into focus. Reports suggest that Dennis Lindsey, the former lead executive for the Utah Jazz, was attached to the Mavericks' search, with some sources naming him as another finalist for the Bulls' position. Lindsey has also been among the top candidates for Chicago. Meanwhile, attention is heavily focused on Minnesota's Matt Lloyd, who is widely believed to be named the Bulls' new head of basketball operations early this week. The situation is complex, with rumors suggesting the Bulls might pursue other finalists, including Lindsey, potentially offering him a role in Chicago with enhanced power or compensation. Lindsey possesses a proven track record as a primary decision-maker, which could sway the Bulls' decision, especially if his camp pushes hard. Despite the shifting dynamics, the most likely outcome remains Matt Lloyd being named the new head of basketball operations. The pressure is mounting as the NBA Draft Lottery and Combine are scheduled for May 10th, making it critical for the Bulls to finalize a front office structure before these events. The Dallas Mavericks have made a significant executive shakeup, hiring former Raptors championship executive Masai Ujiri to replace Nico Harrison. This move signals a major power shift away from the era of Mark Cuban, particularly given Cuban's public regret over selling the majority stake in the franchise. Ujiri brings a pedigree of success, having architected a title run for the Toronto Raptors in 2019, including a high-stakes trade involving DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. Sources indicate that Mark Cuban was not directly involved in the hiring process, stating that he was not part of the search for the replacement executive. Furthermore, Ujiri will assume responsibilities previously expected of Cuban, including serving as the alternate governor and retaining operational control. This appointment marks a distinct change in business strategy compared to Cuban's long-standing approach. For years, Cuban has reportedly avoided hiring external general managers, preferring to surround himself with internal talent. Analysts suggest this hesitation stemmed from a preference for executives who would not challenge his authority, contrasting with the high-profile, autonomous leadership Ujiri embodies. Previous commentary highlighted this dynamic. One analysis suggested that Cuban preferred executives who would cede autonomy, as he acts as the organization's lead shot caller. Conversely, others noted that Cuban's hands-on style meant he avoided candidates like Ujiri, who possesses the charisma and executive skill that built a championship team elsewhere. The decision to bring in Ujiri, rather than internal figures like Michael Finley or former advisor Dennis Lindsey, who reportedly had Cuban's backing, suggests a deliberate move toward greater executive autonomy for the Mavericks. This transition represents a significant change of guard for the franchise, prompting close attention from Dallas fans. The Dallas Mavericks have announced the hiring of Masai Ujiri as their team president and alternate governor, marking a significant executive shift for the franchise. Ujiri brings a wealth of experience, having previously served as the lead basketball executive for the Toronto Raptors, where he was instrumental in leading the team to its sole NBA championship in 2019. The appointment comes nearly 6 months after the Mavericks dismissed general manager Nico Harrison, a move prompted by the impact of the Luka Doncic trade, which significantly altered the team's standing. League sources indicate that Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont prioritized experience in the search for a successor to Harrison. The team showed interest in several high-profile candidates, including Bob Myers and Tim Connolly, before ultimately selecting Ujiri. Ujiri expressed his enthusiasm, stating, "I'm honored to join the Dallas Mavericks and step into this role at such an important time for the organization. This is a franchise with a proud history, passionate fans, and a commitment to winning. I look forward to working with our players, coaches, and leadership team to build something that reflects that standard and competes at the highest level. We will win in Dallas. Despite a nearly year-long separation from the Raptors, Ujiri signaled his desire to return to an NBA front office role, although he maintains an ownership stake in the WNBA's Toronto Tempo. Governor Dumont emphasized the importance of the hire, calling Ujiri one of the great basketball leaders of this generation. Dumont stated, "The Dallas Mavericks are committed to being a world-class organization with a strong culture and focused on winning championships. Masai Ujiri is one of the great basketball leaders of this generation, and his addition to our franchise is a critical step in meeting our goals." The Mavericks are scheduled to introduce Ujiri on Tuesday afternoon. The team is also navigating the NBA draft lottery on Sunday. The Mavericks moved up in the draft lottery for the first time in franchise history last year and selected Cooper Flagg with the #1 pick, who has already demonstrated significant impact as a rookie. Ujiri is expected to shape the roster around Flagg's development. Ujiri's immediate focus will be on clarifying the future of key personnel, including the potential coaching role for Jason Kidd, the ongoing front office structure involving interim GMs Matt Riccardi and Michael Finley, and the status of Kyrie Irving as a potential free agent in the summer of 2027.